Vroom vroom. Beep, beep beep. Beep 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 beep. Vroom vroom. Beep, beep beep beep. Vroom. I don't actually think F1 cars beep. I don't think F1 cars have horns in them. But what do I know? I don't watch F1. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Video Game Valley. It's a beautiful day today. Perfect 72 degrees out. I've got the case for the game we're playing today right here in my hand. It's called F1 Challenge. It's got a quote on the cover from Game Fan. I think that's a magazine, not just some random fan of the game. The quote is, "Amazing! One of the best racing games on the Saturn." Wow. On the back of the box it says, F1 Challenge. Experience the internationally acclaimed Formula One racing action of F1 Challenge. Jam around heart-stopping laps, slide into hairpin turns, and outmaneuver cutthroat competition with split-second timing. Eat up the asphalt. Oh, you're gonna eat asphalt. A big bowl of asphalt. Eat up the asphalt on 6 frantic tracks, including replicas of actual F1 raceways. Fight the gut-wrenching G-forces as your engine screams up to 6,000 RPM in your fully custom-designed racer. With Ferrari, Benetton, and McLaren cars, drivers and teams at your disposal, the world's ultimate dream machines are prowling the asphalt jungle in F1 Challenge racing, and you're in the driver's seat. Nice. 5 Sonic Speed authentic Formula One racing cars are at your command in the first officially licensed F1 racing game for Saturn. 6 action-packed tracks, including Monte Carlo, Suzuka, and Hockenheim. Design your F1 race car for the tightest control, with full customization of car wing configurations, tire types and fuel levels. Super smooth control and gameplay made possible by top-notch animation and frame rate. Top-notch, wow. What do you think top-notch frame rate is? In this case, I'd love to know the actual frame rate this runs at. Toggle between 2 different views anytime in the race, or check out the pop-up video screen with rear view mirror in arcade mode. Nice. Well, can't wait. Cannot wait. This is actually a game that I had as a little baby. I got this back probably in like 98, something like that. I don't know when this game came out, but I would have gotten it in like 1998 or 1999. Probably used. Probably got a good deal on this game. I got most of my Sega Saturn games like after the Sega Saturn started. I don't know, after it was kind of leaving the market. The N64 had come out. PlayStation 1 was topping the sales charts. It was honestly a great time to own a Sega Saturn, because there were so many games I was able to get for relatively cheap. Like when I got the system, it came packed in with Daytona USA, Virtual Cop, and Virtual Fighter 2. Those 3 games came with the system. For a brief period, it was a great time to get the system, and got a lot of great games for not a lot of money. I feel strongly that the Sega Saturn was the system to own at the time. KJ Zana, thank you for the $5. Very proud of my younger sister. She graduated from high school with high honors today. Here's to hoping that her future endeavors go well. Congratulations to your younger sister. And yes, I wish her luck in the world, whether she's heading to college now or whatever's happening. Good luck to her. I was thinking about playing more of the RPG we were playing yesterday, but I haven't been feeling particularly well today, so I thought, let's play a game I don't have to do a whole bunch of voices for. So, the Realm of Mysteria, or whatever that game's called, might be back next week. We'll see. Sega Sports. Formula One World Championship. Wow. Man. I used to look at this cutscene and think, God, how long will it be until the actual in-game graphics look like this? Can you imagine loading up a real-time game and it looks this good? Can you picture it? Loading up a game and this is what the graphics look like. I dreamed of such a day. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah. Dreamcast was the first system where a friend enthusiastically told me the in-game graphics look like PS1 cutscenes. I was hyped. Yeah, there are definitely PS1 cutscenes that the Dreamcast is reminiscent of. There were some PS1 cutscenes that are like extremely high poly models and things like that. It definitely took a while for video games to catch up to the very best of the pre-rendered cutscenes, but Dreamcast was a sight to behold. I remember going to an EB Toys and seeing the Dreamcast set up with that Sonic game. Sonic Adventure. Difficulty easy, please. Let's go to arcade mode. Gotta select our car. This is the Benetton B195. I don't know why. What is the two things? Because there's Benetton B195 and then Renault RS7. It's just two cards. What's Tyrrell 023, Yamaha OX10C, Williams. Alright, so these. Wait, is the bottom one the car? I don't understand. Sorry. I don't need to understand. I'll just pick whatever car looks the coolest, which is probably going to be this Ferrari. Was it the engine? Is that it? Is one of those the engine? Is one of those the engine? Yeah, let me go with a Ferrari. Gonna go with an automatic F1. Do they make automatic F1 cars? Hockenheim. I do remember never being very good at this game. And I expect that to continue. I really like this garage section, though. It's like, wow, look at this. Look at this model. They say the Sega Saturn couldn't do 3D graphics. Look at this. It's almost like you're there in the garage. Yeah, long life. I probably don't actually want to mess with this stuff because I don't know what it does. This is back when graphics had a nobility to them. This is back when there weren't any gons hidden. You could see every gon. If there's a gon, you can see it. It's there. You can count them. Let's get in. Carefully sculpted gons, every gon placed with precision. Okay. Mobile. I think there's a reason to not be flooring it right here. This is F1. The rules are different. Ah! F1 sim that doesn't immediately disqualify you if you slam into another car. It's very good for me as the player. I don't know a whole lot about F1. I know the cars are very expensive. I know the cars are pricier. Than normal cars usually are. I think they're too expensive. Some nice particle effects. Most Saturn games use 3D graphics. Doesn't make sense to say I can't do 3D graphics. The Saturn can't do 3D. Yeah, I mean, it launched with 3D games. I feel like maybe the slightly wonky Daytona USA port and Virtua Fighter port that was there at the beginning created this false impression that the Saturn was not going to be some sort of 3D powerhouse. It's funny, I look at those games now and honestly, I like the way Daytona USA, the original release, looks. It looks I mean, it doesn't look as, you know, technically impressive as the arcade version, but I still very much love playing those games, and I was impressed by them when I saw them as a kid. But I hadn't seen the arcade version, so... And there are some, like, PlayStation 1 games that I go and look at, where I'm like, dang, this looks incredible. It's like, I've never seen graphics like this on the Sega Saturn. But those are all, like, really late era PlayStation 1 games, and I do often wonder what late-era Sega Saturn games would have looked like. We're getting a little bit of that now in the homebrew scene. There's been some pretty impressive stuff being put out. Stuff with real-time lighting, stuff with some pretty extraordinary... extraordinary graphics on display. Mr. Krupp, thank you for the $10. Each car is an institution unto itself. Every driver is shadowed by an assistant holding a transmitter to their mouth, so the entire team can hear what they're saying to the press in real time. The assistant in another car. Yeah, no, F1 stuff. I never got into F1 stuff, but it seemed like everything I've ever heard about F1 makes it all seem maybe a little too serious for me, in my humble tastes. I need to, I needed to... I was gonna say I needed to go to the pit stop, but maybe I don't know. Sorry. Radiant Silver Guns, one of the best looking games of that era. Yeah, I really like the way the games look on the Sega Saturn. I think the very specific combination of like chips and capabilities and design decisions and stuff that they made for the Sega Saturn, like, on the one hand, it absolutely shows like it shows that the company was not necessarily like sold on one particular vision at the time, and made some changes to try to course correct. But the decisions that they did end up making, like, I just really think that games in this system look beautiful. in a way that, like, it's not quite the same on any other system. I do miss when game systems had interesting hardware decisions. that were made. There's not a whole lot that you can talk about with modern game systems, but you can talk a lot about the Sega Saturn. Ooh. Pardon me. I'm not very good at this game, but it seems to be pretty good. It's been a long time since I played it, but you know what? I think this is probably a decent game. Dang it. See the movie The Mist by Stephen King? The Mist. Which one is that? When did that come out? Is that an 80s film? (2007). Oh. No, I probably didn't see that. Not to be confused with The Fog. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of The Fog. I think I'm thinking of The Fog. Stuck at a supermarket. No, I haven't seen that movie. Keep bonking my head. I think I probably got enough fuel to do all 8 laps anyway. I probably should stop to get my tires replaced. Yeah. Final lap. Pardon me. Hoping that movie's old enough that spoilers don't matter. I mean, spoilers always matter to someone who hasn't seen the movie and is planning on seeing the movie. But how many people are planning on seeing The Mist? Let's think of some other movies we could spoil. First, I'm looking up 2000s films. The Prestige. I remember that one had a surprise ending, but I don't actually remember what it was, so... Jason spoiled Full Metal Alchemist for me. I spoiled Full Metal Alchemist. I can't remember if Prestige is the movie that ends with the twist that magic is real, or the movie that ends with the twist that magic is not real. It's one of those. It's one of those. One of those movies. Donnie Darko. Can spoil the ending of that movie. At the end of Donnie Darko, I was about to spoil the end of the movie Donnie Darko, but I think people would think I was creating a joke, like I was creating a fake ending. Game over. Alright, I'm gonna spoil the ending of Donnie Darko. If you don't want me to spoil the ending of Donnie Darko, mute the audio until you see me select start arcade mode. Because I'll select arcade mode as soon as I'm done spoiling the ending of Donnie Darko, okay? Alright, here's the ending of Donnie Darko. The main character is hanging out and he just gets hit by a plane. Like a big plane just hits him. He just gets hit by a huge plane. He's just hanging out and a big plane comes and smacks into him. Alright, we're done spoiling Donnie Darko. Pop culture guy, thank you for that. $9.99. Here's a sort of spoiler to a movie that just came out in the most recent Star Wars movie. The Mandalorian fights a pair of stop-motion robots animated by the Phil Tippett, the man who made Mad God. Yeah, that actually made me kind of want to watch the new Star Wars movie. I wasn't planning on it, but hearing all of the hearing all the stuff about it made me like, I don't necessarily think that it sounds like a good movie, but it sounds like a movie with elements to it that I would like to watch, such as stop-motion robots. Kind of want to just drive that Ferrari again, but I'll try this McLaren. Let's go to Suzuka. And then the usual suspects. Yeah, let me spoil the usual suspects. I actually don't fully remember the ending of Usual Suspects. I seem to remember that having like a twist ending that I found really annoying. So at the end of The Usual Suspects, there's a guy interviewing someone, and he's like, "All right, well, thank you for talking with me, Mr. Banana Cup." And Mr. Banana Cup stands up and leaves the room. And then the guy interviewing him is like, "Wait a minute," and he looks at his desk and he's like, "What the heck? There's a banana on my desk. And a cup. Why, that man, I bet, was using a fake name, Mr. Banana Cup." I bet that wasn't Mr. Banana Cup at all. I think that's how The Usual Suspects ends. Suzuki. I don't remember the plot of The Usual Suspects at all. I know I saw that movie. But I did not actually like The Usual Suspects. I know it's considered a classic or whatever. I was not a fan of The Usual Suspects. I gotta spoil the ending to the movie Rat Race. I'm just gonna keep spoiling the endings to movies. Alright, so in the movie Rat Race, all the characters are trying to get to the end of this race to get $1 million. And at the end of the movie, instead of getting $1 million, they get a Smash Mouth concert. And Smash Mouth is like, "Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed." And they're all like, "Heck yeah, Smash Mouth." Like, I wanted $1 million. But instead I got this Smash Mouth concert. Silver, thank you for the $5. Biggest spoiler was when you named a video, hit it with a car, and then you hit the car, ruined the whole story for me. Yeah, I spoiled the whole video in the title. I really goofed up with that one. Counting Shrek, how many movies do you think end with Smash Mouth? At the time, like, it's nearly every other one. Let's spoil some more movies. Requiem for a Dream. here planning on seeing Requiem for a Dream. I'm trying to remember. That movie ends with an old man saying he wants people to put stuff up their butt. He's like, I really want people to put things up their butts. It's just this old man. People gotta put things in their butt. So that's that movie. That's that movie spoiled for you. I hope this bit goes on forever. I like spoiling spoiling a movie in a way that's like both technically true and also like abstract enough that it's not actually really spoiling anything. Spoiled Dark City. Man, that movie already got spoiled by the producers. They put a spoiler in the opening. If you don't watch the director's cut, they spoil that movie in the opening. They have a narrator start the movie spoiling it. They're like, all right, so here's what happened. Here's what's revealed at the end of the film. Yeah, the producers were worried people would be confused by the twist ending, and so they explained it at the beginning. No, bo. Why not explain at the end what it happens? That's a good question. I mean, it's because that would have required filming new footage instead of just having a narrator say what the deal is. Dang it. Boop, 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 boo. It's not very good at this. So, I was thinking of other movies I could spoil. Thinking of other movies I could spoil. And I got one. Gonna spoil the ending to Old Boy. the movie Old Boy. A father is reunited with his daughter. Spoil the end of Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. Spoil the ending to the movie Ghostbusters. The movie Ghostbusters ends with the whole city getting together and getting the world record for toasting marshmallows. Doing good this time, but that's all right. It's because I'm not driving that Ferrari. That's the best car. Ferrari. Eighth. Not very good. Varuma. Yeah, I probably want to Drive this Ferrari again. Monte Carlo. Boo 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 doo doo doo. Boo 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 boo. Yeah. Probably shouldn't be driving at full speed all the time. Probably shouldn't. What was that M. Night Shyamalan movie that took place at like a... It's like a apartment building, I think. Lady in the Water, that's it. I was trying to come up with a way of spoiling that movie, and then I realized I don't really remember what happened. I do remember being very angry at that movie. It's like, why did the guy have one huge arm? I thought that was gonna mean something. There's a guy with one large arm, and I thought that was gonna be like a plot point at some point. His one huge arm, but no. I don't think it was. I think there's just a guy who has one giant arm. Maybe it's a metaphor. Maybe it has metaphorical meaning. I'll spoil the ending to the movie Signs. If you're allergic to pollen, you shouldn't invade pollen world. If you've got like a grass allergy, you probably don't want to invade grassland. If I don't know, if you've got like a peanut butter allergy, then you maybe don't want to invade planet peanut butter. One second, we're halfway through the stream. No birthdays today, though. I thought there was, but I was wrong. Okay. Lady in the Water end with M. Night Shyamalan being told he's the greatest director ever. Oh yeah, something like that does happen. There's a character who's like a writer. And yeah, he's the greatest writer in the world or something. The most important writer. I don't know. But there's also a guy with one huge arm. This is the guy who has a large arm. At least, the movie Signs has what I would consider to be a complete nonsense ending, but it at least is, like the ending is set up within the film pretty well. It's basically a movie about how God works in mysterious ways, which is a very funny thing to do about a movie that canonically has extraterrestrial aliens. God works in mysterious ways. Everything happens for a reason. And so a bunch of stuff that seemed like either tragedy or nonsense ended up being important in the end because God had a plan. Whereas Lady in the Water is kind of the opposite of that. It's like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's set up that ends up not meaning anything. I'm trying to remember the movie. I'm trying to remember the movie Lady in the Water and what happened in the movie Lady in the Water. Lady in the Water. Here's my memory of the movie Lady in the Water. There's a apartment building that has a pool in the center of it. Paul Giamatti, I think, is the guy, he's the guy who runs the place and fixes things when they break. And there ends up being a woman in the pool who is, I think, a nymph. Or a mermaid. I don't remember. I don't remember. There's a guy who lives in the building and has one huge arm. There's a guy who's the greatest writer in the world. There's some other wacky characters. But then, oh no! There's a bunch of big dogs attacking. And they gotta get the lady back in the water or something. So the dogs will go away. Spoil the ending to Old. I didn't see Old. I did have the ending spoiled to me though, and I don't fully remember if this is correct, but I'm pretty sure that movie actually ends with so this might not be, I haven't seen this movie, and this might not be true, but I think the movie ends with a lightning flash, and it's like, and that beach was created by the CIA. This is like a CIA war crime they're doing or something. I don't know. Big Pharma. Big Pharma, big booty pharma, slapping those cheeks. It's Big Pharma. Boo 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 boo. Yeah, it's a good car. It's the car I should. Car I should pick. I wish I could skip this. Are you brave enough to spoil saving Private Ryan? Did they find Ryan and save him? You know what? I think they actually did. I think they saved Ryan. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I do think they saved Ryan. And then there's a shot where Ryan gets all old. I think that's Ryan. Maybe that wasn't Ryan. Right, Ryan just, it's like, rah, 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 rah. He just ends up at the beach from Old. I don't remember if that was Ryan. It was Ryan. Alright, yeah, Ryan gets old. He gets hit by the old ray. Oh no, sorry, I was remembering it. Wait, does he get old or does he get young? Yeah, it's just like. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So they save Ryan, but he gets old. Neo City. Honey, I'm watching Titanic for the first time. Don't tell me how it ends. Alright. I want to tell you how Titanic ends. Titanic ends with the shocking reveal that ghosts are real. Ghosts are real! If they ever made a movie where the Titanic, like, it's proven in Ghostbusters 2 when you can see the Titanic finally arriving in New York. Yeah, have they ever made a movie where the Titanic shows back up? Like, not as a ghost ship or anything, but just as, like, a regular ship full of living people. Because there's been movies about, like, usually involving aliens, about, like, airplanes and stuff that went missing coming back with people on it. You know how James Cameron is obsessed with the Titanic? Do you think if given the opportunity he would go back in time and board the Titanic and be on it while it's sinking? Do you think he's that into the Titanic that he'd go and hang out on it? Absolutely would. Because, I mean, he's not guaranteed to die. There were survivors. Alright, people seem to unanimously think that James Cameron would go on the Titanic. Risk death. Here's the more important question. If he went back in time and rode the Titanic, would he warn them about the iceberg? Or would he let it happen? He wouldn't let it happen. He would let it happen. Avatar is too important. Yeah, if the Titanic never sinks, we might never have had Avatar. First. There's never been a movie about the Hindenburg disaster. Because there's much less time that happens between the explosion and stuff. I mean, most people on the Hindenburg survived that. I think it was like a third of the people who died. In the 70s. 1970s Hindenburg film. Yeah, the Hindenburg, 1975 American Technicolor disaster film. I gotta look this up. Interesting. Looking up the 1975 Hindenburg film. It looks like for all the disaster sequences, they filmed it in black and white. Like maybe they thought that would be more respectful, or maybe they thought there's some other artistic reason. Footage from it too. Maybe that's the reason. Budget. All right. Has there ever been a 9/11 movie? There were like multiple 9/11 movies, including one with Tom Hanks. No, it wasn't Tom Hanks. It was, oh my god. What's his name? Will Ferrell. No, Nicolas Cage. That's it. Nicolas Cage. Yeah, there's a Nicolas Cage 9/11 movie. It's got a mustache in it. It's called World Trade Center. He's a fireman. Made in 2006. Yeah, that was maybe too soon. 2006, maybe too soon. Pop culture guy, thank you for the $4.99. I think an anthology film about people who died in blimp disasters is a good idea. Had a segment in Hindenburg, the British R-101, and the third one. I think that's a great idea. Well, people love seeing people getting blown up in balloons. I can't believe that 9/11 movie, World Trade Center, was in 2006. I mean, I can believe it. There was so much, like, propaganda after 9/11 happened. So much needing to take this event and turn it into this, almost this thing of worship in order to justify a lot of changes to the United States government. Yeah, there was a second 9/11 movie in 2006. Flight 93. September 11th, 2001. 4 terrorists wanted to turn Flight 93 into a weapon. 40 brave passengers and crew stopped it from reaching its target. I'm pretty sure there was a third movie that came out around this time too, but I do not remember which one that was. Boop, boop, boop. Apparently there was a 2017 movie just called 9/11. Whoopi Goldberg is in that. I had never heard of this one. But yeah, apparently there's a 2017 movie just called 9/11. It's Whoopi Goldberg. Is that Charlie Sheen? Yeah, Charlie Sheen, Gina Gershon. This is pre or post Sheen going off. It was 2017, so I think post. But yeah, there's been a lot of 9/11 movies. Another one, but I'll be shocked if this one was made. The Challenger disaster. Yeah, let's see if there's a Challenger disaster film. Yes. Apparently two. Apparently there's two of them. One was a TV movie in 2013, and the other was 2019. The Challenger disaster. Yeah, they'll make a movie about any tragedy. My mom used to tell me that I saw the Challenger exploding when I was a baby. She told me I saw the explosion when I was a baby. She was like, I was a baby and she brought me outside to look at the space shuttle. And then my little baby eyes saw it blow up. $1986. As a baby, it was probably kind of cool. I don't think I understood what I was seeing as a baby. Saw TV coverage about half an hour after it happens. I was still at school when it happened, but my mother picked us up for lunch. Yeah, it was no good. Pop culture guy, thank you for the $4.99. Should we look up if the thing about Big Bird Muppeteer nearly being on it comes up in those movies? Was the Big Bird Muppeteer almost on the Challenger? What? I don't know what you're referring to. He was? Yeah, I didn't know that. How does a Muppeteer almost end up on the space shuttle? How does this happen? It's like Seth MacFarlane almost being on the 9/11 flight. He was almost on the shuttle. Promote science. Went with a teacher instead. Yeah, I know the teacher. I mean, the teacher kind of makes sense. You know, if she's able to like pass all the physical stuff. It takes a lot to be an astronaut. Some random Muppeteer, I don't know. Didn't want to go because he knew he couldn't go in costume. Man, it would have been way worse had he gone in costume and then exploded. Imagine kids watching Big Bird go up into space and Big Bird, no! Well, I'm glad he did not go. According to The Sims, you just have to be a tenured soldier to be an astronaut. I mean, these days all sorts of people end up going up into space. But on an actual, like, NASA mission or whatever, I guess there's different, like, criteria for astronauts who are going into low Earth orbit versus beyond Earth's orbit. Still. We did it. First place. I remember when the Space Shuttle Columbia blew up. I was working at BJ's Wholesale Club at the time. I saw it on the news and the TV in the back. One on my break. There it is. Columbia. Destroyed. Pretty depressing break. Columbia didn't blow up, it disintegrated. Sure, I mean... Yes. It wasn't like a... I don't know, like an explosion that took it out. It was... damaged... heat tile. But the disintegration, I mean, it did turn into a big fireball in the sky. For ages, the only space shuttle I could name was Apollo 11. Well, Apollo 11 was was not a shuttle. The space shuttle, so the space shuttle was the name of a particular spacecraft. Apollo 11 was a module on top of a module and a rocket. There were these rockets that would send these modules up. Whereas the space shuttle was like a like a space plane that would be hooked up to all these other rockets. Shuttle was reusable. Apollo was not. I thought there was some reusable element of Apollo. I mean, definitely not the rocket. But I might be wrong. But yeah, the big advantage with the space shuttle was the fact that the thing itself was basically this airplane kind of thing. It was kind of an airplane. And so like when they would return to Earth, instead of parachuting and landing in the ocean, it would land on this like a more traditional landing pad. New City Expert. Love the space shuttle. It was neat. It had a lot of limitations. It was very much like a like the scope of the project was less in terms of like human space travel. The idea was this is a way we could regularly get stuff up into space. It never ended up really working out the way that that they had planned in terms of like the cost benefit. I thought Challenger was named Apollo 11. A very confused, broken French understanding of what went on. Yeah. It is genuinely incredible that Apollo 11 returned and they all survived. Like, when you actually look into the details of what happened with Apollo 11, it's like, dang. They're out there on their way to the moon. Talking about Apollo 13. I don't remember one. Oh no, you know what? I am talking about Apollo 13. Sorry. I'm getting the numbers mixed up because we're talking about. No, we were talking about Apollo 13. Yes. Asset crisis ingenuity at its finest. Yeah, they're out there in this capsule. And one of their oxygen tanks just blows up. Just sends them spinning, and now they're running out of oxygen. They've got to slingshot themselves around the moon, get back to the Earth and land. But like, their whole pod is busted. It's really small. It's a really tiny thing they're in. They're in this bucket in space. They end up having to like move to the lunar lander because that's the only thing that's gonna have oxygen. The lunar lander is like, it's not a very robust thing. They turned off the heat. Yeah, they had to conserve all their power and stuff, and so they're just like freezing. One of them got really sick. I forgot which one it was, but they weren't doing they weren't doing well. I'm pretty sure like the lunar lander they had to, the detail that always like stuck out to me is the lunar lander they needed to move to in order to conserve oxygen and stuff. It's like, it was built to be as lightweight as possible because it had to get back up off the moon. And it was absolutely not built for like robust travel or whatever. And it's just, the walls for like this thin foil. It's like, imagine being out there in space, except the thing that you're in is like one of those shiny heat blankets. You know what I'm talking about? Like those shiny thermal blankets is like one of those, and that's like all that's between you and the vacuum of space. Bird cage, blanket, yeah, basically. And they had to be extremely careful the entire time, because it's like, you know, if you kick out your leg too hard, you're just gonna kick right through it. And then all the oxygen is gonna get sucked out. And you probably are also gonna get sucked out. They were in a Jiffy Pop. Yeah, they were in a Jiffy Pop. Genuinely incredible that they made it back. Like, really, really terrifying stuff. Movie, they say they were only able to use the power equivalent to a toaster. Yeah. And like, you know, they had like a onboard computer and stuff, but we're talking about We're talking about a computer that's like less advanced than like a graphing calculator. Like less advanced than a TI-87. Using that to calculate telemetry and stuff. When they actually like got back into view of Earth and stuff, because they did have to, like, this happened pretty early on in the journey, and so they had to travel, in order to get back, they had to travel all the way to the moon and then use the moon's gravity to slingshot themselves back to Earth. So they were out there for a long time. And just, the calculations needed to be done to get them back on course. And astonishing. But also, once they actually reached Earth, there was a lot of stuff that they had to just figure out manually. They had to to really make sure they entered at the exact right angle. And this is always the case, you know, but usually they're going by a very particular plan set out from the beginning. Like, all of those plans had to be changed. And so they're trying to calculate their re-entry position and stuff at an angle to make sure that they don't just bounce off the Earth's atmosphere, which is a thing that can happen. And also that they don't go at too deep an angle, or else they're just gonna burn to death. Imagine going through all of that, figuring out everything along the way, and then burning up on the way down. I mean, at the very least, you probably wouldn't know it was happening once it started happening. Those temperatures change rather quickly. But also, I think the most terrifying part of all of that is the fact that there had been an explosion. They weren't actually sure that the vessel that they were in could enter the Earth's atmosphere and not kill them. Like, they weren't sure exactly what the damage was, so... Like, the entire time it was possible that they were just doomed. Like, if the capsule they were in had been damaged a certain way, it just would not be able to survive re-entry. Second. I'll take that. Well, that'll probably be it for tonight. That'll probably be it. When was the International Space Station launched? I think that was the late 90s. It's like 98, 99. Special thanks to the FilmCow Patreon supporters. Greatly appreciate the support. I love the International Space Station. Oh. Apparently the International Space Station's having some problems right now. Yeah, apparently there had been some air leaks. The air leaks have been relatively minor in recent months, but escalated Friday from 1 pound of air per day to 2 pounds. Oh. Two Russian cosmonauts were planning to use a saw to reach an area where they believed they could access one of the leaks, but NASA disagreed with this method. Yeah, apparently there's some sort of crack. Some cracks. I've talked about this before, but one of my favorite facts about things in low Earth orbit, like the International Space Station, is here it is. Here's the International Space Station. One of my favorite facts is that it's the International Space Station is not far away enough from the Earth to not be subject to essentially the same level of gravity that we have here on the surface. This International Space Station is experiencing about the same amount of gravity that we are. Of Earth's gravity. It's constantly in something called free fall, where it's just continuously falling towards the Earth at the speed you would imagine this to fall at. It's just because it's falling at an angle equal to the curvature of the Earth. It's just constantly falling around and around and around and around. But it is falling. It's falling constantly, just at a curve. It's always falling. Oh, I didn't mean to go back to the game. Moving so fast horizontally, you miss hitting the ground. Yeah. It's exactly that. Orbits the planet like 21 times a day. Yeah, it's moving pretty quick. But yeah, you gotta move. I forget exactly how far. It's pretty far from the Earth before you're not like primarily subject to the Earth's gravity, or like where the sun becomes the main source of gravity for you. Here's a fun thing about gravity. Does this mean we're falling around the sun? Yeah, I think we are falling around the sun. I think we are, yes. Gravity has no distance in which it's not influencing you, which means like the gravity of the Earth, even if you leave the solar system, the gravity of the Earth is still impacting you in some extremely small degree. Essentially immeasurable at that point, but every single object in the entire universe, its gravity is impacting you in some way. It's just a minuscule amount, but things all the way on the other side, other end of the universe, if there is another end, the gravity of that is affecting you. Just, not in a way that we'll ever be able to measure. Gravity moves at the speed of light. Yeah, it moves at the speed of light, so like stuff at the other end of the universe, the gravity of that, it takes a long time to reach us. So we're being influenced by the gravity of things from the distant past. Not so much the current future. I mean the current present. Isn't it weird that gravity and the speed of light are the same thing? It's cool how gravity travels at the speed of light, but is still able to escape black holes, unlike light. There's a lot about the universe that is just really confusing. I would love to have answers to all of this. I mean, that's also, I feel like, every scientist. It's kind of the whole reason for science. Yeah, I find it all very, very strange. The more that more the physicists uncover about the way that the universe works, the more questions it unlocks. Once had a high school science teacher get mad at me when I was asking, what if there's something outside the universe? They were very mad, saying that was impossible. I mean, maybe it's impossible. It might not be impossible, but maybe it might be impossible. I think it's probably something outside of our universe, but I mean, we would have no way to know. The multiverse. The multiverse. Things outside of our observable universe makes sense. Yeah, well, we can only see so far. Universe is everything, so it's impossible. Yeah, I mean, if you're defining the universe as, like, everything that exists, then, yeah. There can't be anything outside of that, because anything outside of that is part of that definition. There are definitely some scientific answers where, like, I'm glad to know them, but it doesn't really help me to understand the nature of reality. It's like if scientists tomorrow were like, we've discovered the universe is shaped like a big boot. I'd be like, oh. I mean, I'm glad to know that. I'm glad to know the universe is a big boot. But I don't necessarily know that really... really gives me a greater understanding of why things are. You know, if they found... You've got the basic building blocks of like atoms and stuff. if they found that there were even more basic building blocks below those. I still don't know that that would that would necessarily change my my understanding of things. Well, that's the absurd for you. The desire to understand things that you cannot understand. That will never be understood. Unless... I completely understand how people end up with completely quack theories about stuff, because, you know... I would love to have, like, an idea that made sense to me, that I believed in. Unless you become a vampire and have time to figure it all out. Yeah, if there's any vampires out there, I'm still waiting. Still waiting to get bit. Time travel. Time travel. I'm starting to suspect that time travel, at least in the sense brought up in fictional stories and what have you, is probably never going to happen. I feel like we would have seen time travelers by now. But also, I think probably there's some fundamental way that the universe is set up where it wouldn't really make sense for matter to go from one time to another. Like, I think a universe is one big tube. And we're moving along the time tube. Can't really take part of the tube, put it in a different part. It's probably going to be lame when we figure it out. Is time a tube? I think time's a tube. That is one way of thinking about time. I don't know what word to use other than tube. It's kind of like tunnel. You could do tunnel. What I mean is like it's like if you imagine this is like a rock, and at this point in time it's here, and later on it's over here. Someone threw the rock. It's rock, 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 rock. Like, here's all the different positions of the rock over time. And it forms a tube. Like, if you were to look at the rock from outside of outside of time, you would see all the positions The Rock had ever been in. It would just kind of be tube-like as The Rock traveled around. Life's onion skinning, yeah. This is an animation term. Fourth dimensional object, yeah. Fourth dimensional object. This is not like a definite thing. This is just one-time theory. The tube of me. Yeah, everyone's got a fourth dimensional version of themselves. That's a big tube. But yeah, there's so much we know about the universe now that we didn't know hundreds of years ago. And I do wonder, like, what is our understanding of the universe going to be like 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years? If human beings are still, you know, walking around and stuff. we didn't completely screw things up, which, like, on the one hand, it seems like, oh, of course humans won't be around in 2,000 years. Look at how bad we're doing right now. But on the other hand, if you look at, like, what humans were doing thousands of years ago, it's always been like this. Humans have always been making all the wrong choices constantly. And, you know, here we are, thousands of years later, so who knows? Yeah, just imagine just traveling thousands of years into the future. And just even like school children, even little baby children have an understanding of the universe that make our heads spin. This time we have fossil fuels. Yeah, this time we have fossil fuels. But, you know, we also have Pokemon. And people want to keep playing Pokemon, so I think at some point we'll figure it out, just so people can keep playing Pokemon, you know. I think people are really bad at judging, like, long-term risk stuff, but not too bad judging very short-term risks. So, as soon as the Earth is melting away, we'll be making some big changes. was a good while when I was little, where I genuinely believed the entire universe around me was somehow fake. I was the only consciousness. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, like there's a whole, like old-timey philosophy around that idea. There's been human beings thinking that for basically as long as humans have been thinking. Wait a minute, what if I'm the only one here? What if this is it? What if I'm the only one? Solipsism. Yeah, that's what it's called. Solipsism. I think the main argument that I would have against solipsism is just, I feel like if I was the only actual consciousness, if I was the only one to actually exist, I don't really feel like this is how my life would be going. I don't really think this is the reality that I would have constructed. It just doesn't really make sense to me that it's like this is I'm the one person. This is it. Well, hopefully within the next couple of years we'll get answers to all these questions. I think by 2030 pretty much everything will be figured out. I think we'll pretty much get it all sorted out by 2030. I don't think we got much longer to go. I mean, we got the greatest minds of the entire world working tirelessly on these questions. Well, that should be it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night, everyone. A great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one. Farewell, everyone. I love you all.